7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Back onto
back from what?
From the silence and the gloom of the week. Yeah, exactly.
I guess it was raining a lot this week.
Were you there when it was like torrential rain and it was?
Was I there? Was like you mean like there on the world or?
No,
yes.
They're out there in the world with the rain.
I was for a brief period actually because I walked to the bus. Gonna talk about that later actually.
You walked to the bus.
Yeah.
Or the bus.
Every time I have work, I walk to the bus pretty much.
Now the listeners now know your schedule.
No, they don't. I said every time I work, I walk to the bus.
They're coming for you.
They're not.
Alright.
I guarantee you they're not.
Okay, but you're walking to the bus.
Yeah, so basically I was in the rain. But yeah, I was pretty much just at work watching it rain all day. What was it? Wednesday or Monday?
Wednesday.
It rained from like Monday to Thursday pretty much. And today is beautiful. It's another Friday.
I mean, I wouldn't say beautiful.
Yeah,
the wind
actually.
Is
what did I say when I came in here?
That it almost blew you home?
Yeah, I drove here to our secret location. I got out of my car and I almost blew all the way back home. That's how windy it was. And I weigh like 100 pounds.
It did not blow me
For the
away.
first time in my life, actually. It's weird.
Is that like a yay moment? Or like
A little bit, yeah.
Yay!
Yay! You just add on that little sound effect that everyone uses on YouTube of the kids going, yay!
I don't want there to sound like there's kids in the room.
That's yeah, there's no children here at all. Anyway, as long as we're talking about what happened this morning, I have a funny story.
I'll judge if it's funny or not.
Okay. Well,
funny.
I didn't say it yet. I went out this morning to look for sugar-free cake mix, which I know exists because my grandfather gets it because he's diabetic. And I wanted to make some cupcakes this weekend. Mm-hmm. But I went to the store and they didn't have any. All they have is like gluten-free stuff now. And I asked the guy, I asked the guy. I asked him. Anyway, that's my favorite word, by the way. I asked the guy and he was like, I don't know, I guess we don't have it anymore. And then I said, I guess celiac is the new diabetes. But
celiac?
Yeah.
I don't know what
It means
celiac.
you can't eat, like, bread products. Breadstuffs? Breads.
Is that what happens when you're supposed to be gluten free?
That's not what happens.
Is
What happens is you, like, almost die. It means your body doesn't process it the way other people process it.
How does it process it?
Like, you eat bread and it just works in your body, okay? I don't know, I don't have it. I occasionally get gluten-free stuff just because I like the taste of it.
What does it taste like?
Like it's missing something, but it's delicious.
I'm not sure if, like, something tasting like it's missing something is a sign, and you liking it is not a sign of something.
Okay, well, it has a different texture, and I kind of like that. But anyway, so that's that, but I found some awesome cookies to make, so that's what I'm doing after this. And then after that, I went and got a donut and ate it outside of a kickboxing class.
Is that sugar-free?
The donut was definitely not sugar-free. It was not gluten-free. It was all sugar, all gluten.
Does that mean you're
all
anti-grandpas?
I am, a little bit. Not all grandpas, you know.
But your grandpa, most definitely.
We're not going to talk about that.
I'm just saying, you went to look for something for him.
But we're not specifically for him, just so that, because whenever I make stuff for the household,
that reminded you of him.
I want to include everybody.
Yeah, and then when you couldn't find it, you got something so in his face, not.
We're not talking about my grandfather right now, alright? Anyway, like I said, I ate a donut in front of a kickboxing class, and I thought it was funny.
And your grandpapa was in the
No,
kickboxing class? Was he in there?
My grandpapa was not in the class. You're gonna have to cut all this out, man. Anyway, that was my funny morning story. Do you have a funny morning story, Alex?
I woke up this morning. Wait, this morning or just any morning?
I mean, whatever. Just go.
Well, I woke up this morning, and I was like, oh crap, I don't know how to edit anything. And so that's what I did for my
You learned how to edit things?
Nope, I didn't learn.
You didn't learn how to edit
But
things.
I did learn 2 things, but I wouldn't say they learned how to edit anything.
Is this another yay moment?
No, oh no.
No?
No.
Alright.
Because it was like I had like 2 hours, and to learn 2 things in 2 hours is very slow. The videos were like 5 minutes each, so I don't know why it took me 2 hours to learn 2 things.
Alright. Well, I guess we can move on from that. What's your word of the week? Your word of the day, whatever.
Wait, I forgot your word of the day.
Well, because I didn't have one last week, but I wanna still build
that
up to it.
reminds me.
So you go first.
You said yours, but yeah, in the middle of your story,
You can't say mine though.
No, but you said in the middle of your story it was ask, and then you said
No,
ax.
I said it was ass. That's how I always say ask, because I can't do the SK sound.
So you can't do the ax thing that everybody does too, the AX thing.
I'd rather say ass than ax, because that's definitely wrong.
And what, the AX thing is like only kind of wrong?
No, the AX thing is way more wrong than the ASS thing.
Well, my word of the week is drink.
That's not fair because you used the root.
Yeah, okay. Honestly, following along the lines of last week, I actually like the word drop. Because that's actually a word that sounds, if you say it correctly, actually sounds like the drop.
Yeah, that's like...
Especially if you pop that P at the end there. Oof.
You pop that P?
I popped that P.
You maybe don't want to say pop that P on this podcast.
I pop that P a lot when I say the word drop.
I mean, popping the P is certainly what happens when you drop it.
It's very, very pleasurable, and if you say pleasurable, right, it does nothing.
It does nothing.
But drop.
Yeah, it's certain words. They just sound like what they are saying they are doing. Like knees, which is my favorite word, which I definitely did not get from the room. Okay. They just sound like they belong in the middle of your legs. Knees.
It sounds like you have...
Because you need them.
You stole my joke.
I know,
literally
right
as
out
I
of
was
your
saying it.
Well, it wasn't funny, so I just...
So you had to steal it?
Took
You couldn't
it.
have stolen a funny
It was
joke?
going that way anyway.
And let me just have my... Okay.
I like words that sound like what they are. Okay. Anything you want to add, Alex? Any jokes?
Yeah. There are some things that are as they are and sound like what they are, but then there are some things that are not at all. Think about that, guys.
Is that something they're gonna have to think about this week? Because
Not gonna
I don't
lie.
even know what you just said.
I started a sentence and didn't know where I was going with it.
I noticed that.
And
I could see it in your eyes. I could see it in your
finished
smile.
it. Well,
It's a song reference.
alright, let's move along.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now we can talk about music. Since I said it was a song.
That's good. That's
Ooh,
good.
yeah.
Good transition right there.
Okay. We have here good music and bad music. I personally believe there's no such thing as bad music. Only music you like more than others. But you don't believe that.
No, just like I believe that there are good opinions and bad opinions, I think that is a bad opinion.
Well, that's next week, alright? Let's just... Because I got some words to say on that. How about
Do you think
that?
that's a bad opinion?
Yes.
Look
Oh.
at that. Just
Well, it
like
comes
there's
full
bad
circle.
music.
There isn't. Though. Like, explain bad music.
Unappealing music to the general population.
It's not the general
to be honest,
population.
to be
Because
honest,
there's
even
always
the
somebody
artist-
who's gonna like it, though.
even the artist who made it goes, oof, you know what? Was not good.
I made a huge mistake. Like,
Yeah, that.
who does that? Then they don't put it out.
Well, I have an example for you.
All right, what's your example?
Well, no, let's start with the good music. Start off with a high note.
What?
A high note music. Start off. It's
Are
okay.
you doing jokes again, Alex?
like barely jokes, but
All right.
some good music.
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I personally like listening to classic rock. I listened to. Well, right now the radio station is on the classic rock station because I'm kind of feeling it these days. I heard some Jimi Hendrix on the way over here. That was good. Some David Bowie. That's relevant, right?
I mean, he's dead.
This is still relevant, right? It's been like a month. Too soon?
I mean, the music came out when?
I mean, it wasn't one of my favorite songs, but I was like, oh, hey, David Bowie, that's a thing.
What is the thing?
Too soon.
Yeah, probably.
Too soon. But yeah, I mean, I like rock music, I like classical music, I like hip-hop. Just depends on the mood I'm in.
So what were you listening to today? David Bowie?
Jimi Hendrix, I like Jimi Hendrix.
What song were you listening to Jimi Hendrix?
It was All Along the Watchtower. That's a good one.
I like Hey Joe. That's like the only song I listen to.
Yeah. He has better ones, but that one's always... I mean, it's Jimmy. You can't go wrong with Jimmy. It's an experience. He put it in the album
He
title.
put it in, yeah.
He
Which I
put
thought
it in
was
his
a bit-
name.
I thought that was a bit much.
Isn't
There was
his-
a band.
that's his middle name, right?
There was a band, and how are you going to say the Jimi Hendrix Experience? But what about everybody else? Everybody else I felt did their part. There was a drummer.
I mean, but do you know their names? No.
No, because he wouldn't put in the band name.
Jimi Hendrix and... Can you just name everybody? That would be so stupid.
It would work.
I don't know. What's the group that sings Hotel California? I heard that one too, and I saw...
Red Hot Chili Peppers?
No, that's Californication.
Dave Matthews Band? I'm just naming people now.
I know. I mean, also good bands, but not what I was asking. So, move on to your good music. What have you been listening to lately?
I have been listening to a lot of Amy Winehouse, but not because I listen to that normally. There's just somebody recommended that to me, and I was like, all right, I'll listen to this, and I was like, oof,
It hit you?
It didn't hit me.
You went oof.
But I went oof because I was.
So like a bad oof or a good oof?
A good oof. It was a good oof.
Alright.
That sound does sound like it hit me, and I played a couple of my strings.
Okay.
But
it did something for you?
It did something for me.
It did something? Yeah, I like Amy Winehouse.
But I listened to a lot of hip hop.
I miss her music. Some people said that Lily Allen kind of sounded like her.
I like Lily Allen.
They have the same kind of sound. I like that kind of soulful sound. Like, it's not forced.
I think, though, Amy has more of a soulful sound than Lily does.
Yeah.
I think Lily's a little bit more poppy, but also...
But notice you haven't heard anything from her in like a while.
Lily, yeah. Well, she came out with an album in 2014. It's 2016, so yeah, okay. She should be coming out one soon.
Alright, bad music, as you
Easily.
say.
I thought the Yeezus album was bad. It was a bad album. It was a bad album. There's a lot of Kanye West super fans, or as we like to call it in hip-hop, stans.
That's what you call it in any genre.
Hey, hip-hop fans. fans like to call it stans, they love to claim Yeezus is a good album, universally considered a bad album. An even more acceptable example, even more, and you know what, saying even more than Yeezus as an acceptable bad standard is pretty high up there. Lupe Fiasco's Lasers album, deemed by everyone as a bad album.
Okay, but do you listen to your music based on what everybody says?
First of all, when Lupe Fiasco, before the album drops, goes, "This is a bad album," and then joins his own protest against the album, I feel like, come on.
That's an example of an artist going, "Oh shit, I shouldn't have made this.
This is a bad album." Now, people will say,
"I'm so sorry, this is a bad album."
People will say, "Hey, look, Lupe Fiasco joined the protest to tell the record label to release the album." But then right after they finally...
Wait, it was a protest to release it?
But hold on, yes, because the record labels wouldn't let
because
Lupe...
he basically negged it. He made people think it was bad, and then it turned out to be good.
No, it was bad.
Oh, alright.
It was very bad.
Maybe that's what they were trying to make you think.
I mean, he was apologizing for the album later. He said the record labels made me make this album, not him.
Right.
Which is... If he's saying that...
Well, no, which I believe, if anybody is listening to, entertainment news right now, the whole thing with Kesha is...
Yeah, exactly. She...
BS.
Wait, you saying she's BSing, or are you saying, it's BS situation for her,
It's a BS situation...
It sucks to be her. Right
for her especially, but also other record labels that actually treat their artists right.
Well, I mean...
It makes the industry seem like... Okay, why do people still do this? Why is this still people's dreams? They can just make their own music at home and still get as popular as people who...
Yeah, but when she came out... I mean, but it's still the dream is to sign to a label and all that stuff.
I guess.
Even though, there are independent artists going out there who are making good money doing that. I mean, Chance the Rapper became the first independent rapper. I mean, not independent rapper, independent artist.
I don't know who that is.
That's fine. He's a rapper.
No kidding.
He's a good rapper, and he's the first artist to ever perform, independent artist to perform on SNL, which means that, independent artists are starting to, really become on the same level as...
I know, that's the thing. I mean, just look at Tori Kelly. She came off of YouTube, and now she's got, 2 songs? I don't know. I like the first one she came out with. That was good.
So, I mean...
But, I mean, like I said, it just puts a whole bad thing on... It just sheds a light on all the bad stuff that can go wrong in that industry.
She signed a really bad deal, though. She was signed for eight albums.
Which would have worked out in her favor in the long run, in everybody's favor, had the guy not decided to be a blankety blank.
The worst.
Yeah, the worst blank that has ever blanked.
Basically, if he was a murderer and only a murderer, there'd be a debate about if he's better or not better.
I mean, it also sheds a light on pretty much what's been going on in the country for years. This idea that it's the victim's fault, but we're not gonna get into that today.
Yeah. But just saying, she also wasn't a big fan of her own music at some point.
When?
What she said? Remember, she said she wanted to make more rock music and more not pop sounding, and that's what she was forced to keep doing. She said it gets
okay, but that goes along with
it's not good.
Bad record label, bad.
No, but that's how you
bad.
That's how you get bad music, though.
You point the finger, bad. You know.
I mean, that's how you try to correct the bad music.
Well, you can't correct it once it's gone corrupt.
All right. I think I made a good case for bad music.
I think you just made a case for bad country, but I guess we can kind of go into
Speaking of bad,
MR. Oh God.
That's so
okay,
good.
Alex just pointed to something we have on our trusty
Why do you keep
sheet of
revealing
paper.
Going on?
Because it's real life, all right? It's IRL, okay?
Right. very much recorded.
People
it
are
and
not
then-
that organized. I need this paper, alright? He pointed to what I said, a pet peeve, but it's a very specific pet peeve. Because, I was on the bus the other day, and this guy would not stop touching his hair. It was so annoying. Like, just looking, like, just watching him. I tried to not watch, but he kept doing it so much so that I couldn't look away. And I thought he was just gonna pull it all out. Like, do you get that feeling when somebody is just doing something that's, like, super annoying? Even though it's... I guess that's a pet peeve, but...
I saw hair touching on the paper, and I thought it was someone's touching your hair.
No, that's the thing. Somebody else is touching your hair? That feels fucking amazing. I'm sorry for the F-bomb. But that feels amazing because it makes things in your body feel good and not in that way, listeners, okay? God, nasties. Which is what I was leading into, which is ASMR. Do you know what that means?
I saw it, I looked it up, and then I forgot. Oof, and I can see the paper, so I'm not gonna look at the paper.
Don't look, he's cheating. Alright.
I saw the autonomous part. So I'm gonna say autonomous, symmetrical,
No.
median, right?
Nope. Stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response.
Sounds pretty close to what I said.
It sounds really scientific, but basically what it means is your brain and ears are having an orgasm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just that.
That's all it means. Like meridian, that doesn't mean anything. It's a made-up word that scientists made up so that they wouldn't have to say orgasm. And everybody goes, tee hee hee.
Autonomous, sensory, is it
I
because
mean,
you're...
everyone knows what autonomous and sensory mean.
Mm-hmm.
That means that it does it without you even having to think about it.
But if your brain is doing
Much
it...
like an erection.
If your brain is doing it, then isn't it thinking about it?
No.
Think about it.
You don't think about blinking before you do it, do you?
Yeah, but you said your brain and your ears are having...
But it's autonomous, meaning that it does it on its own. It's something that happens, and it sends little tingles down your spine, and it feels awesomely amazing. Like when you hear sounds that are, I don't know, really quiet.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of videos about people whispering and stuff, which I don't really like those videos. But I love the ones with tapping sounds. And like writing sounds, paper sounds,
And does it give you
plastic
the
sounds.
autonomous sensory meridian response?
It does. It gives it to me hard.
My brother, whenever he wants to communicate with me and doesn't want everybody else around to hear, he likes to get really close to my face, turn his head in like perpendicular to my ear, and talk literally into my ear. And I
Talk
hate it so
into
much.
your ear hole
I hate it so much.
because it's making them vibrate in a way that
Too
is
much.
not regular.
No,
Too
no,
much.
Too much vibrating in my ear, and I'm like, I can hear you
Okay,
just
so
as
then
well.
you listen to these videos. I like hair cutting videos because of the scissor sounds.
Mm.
I guess I could listen to like scissor sounds, but I tried to do that and it's just a bunch of like it's like 50 fucking minutes of somebody's like cutting nothing, and it just doesn't do it for me. It has to be cutting something.
What if it's cutting your own hair? Do you like to listen to your own hair being cut?
Yeah. Like going to the barber or whatever, the cutter. Is that what they're called? The stylist?
Barber?
I mean,
I don't know.
barber for guys, but like...
The hair professional?
Yeah, you just go to the hair salon or whatever, you get your hair cut, and the whole experience is amazing because somebody else is touching your head.
Well,
That's what
every time.
that's what I'm getting about. Watching somebody else touch their hair is annoying, but somebody else touching your hair, great.
Every time I go to the barber, I cry a little. Like, this is not a joke. My
Different
tears,
feeling,
my
Alex,
eyes
different
actually
feeling.
do tear up every time. Cause
Where did he touch you, Alex?
no, No, just
Where
the head.
did he touch you?
Just the head and the hair, but I grow an attachment to my hair all the time, and then like I can feel it being cut, and I'm like, I'm sorry. I actually do feel really bad to my hair every time.
You know it's just dead skin, right?
But it's me, isn't it? Isn't your hair you?
I mean, you could claim a lot of stuff that comes out of you as you, but is it all great?
That's why I tear up all the time. Every time.
You tear up when you go to the bathroom too?
Every time.
Alright. Well, that's what I'm into. I watch those videos to fall asleep. Really, any video late at night makes me fall asleep. But those especially.
I fall asleep a lot on the train. Especially when I was in like...
you mean like the metro or...
Yeah, the metro. I felt it's just like the way it rocks you to sleep.
Yeah.
It's not the best place to sleep because you wake up and have nothing.
Your stuff's gone?
Yeah, but it's
including
way
your vital
too
organs?
It's way... Oh, I would hope I would have woken up before they took it, but...
Hey, it was a deep sleep.
Not that deep.
Not that deep? Okay.
But that's where I fall asleep a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I like public transportation. Or I guess any kind of motion. Although I get motion sickness a lot.
On public transportation or just
no,
walking?
In cars, actually. Not walking.
I get motion sickness when I'm trying to read in a car.
That's scientific. Because I don't get it. Your brain's first response to anything is to make you throw up.
I'm not a big fan of my brain then.
Something's wrong. Puke. Just puke. Puke it out. I hate that feeling so much.
Mm.
Yeah, because I try to read in the car too, but it doesn't work.
And I forget a lot that I can't do it. So then I get that feeling. Then I was like, oh, this was a mistake. I could have waited.
I looked up how to stop that, and you just basically have to look out the window or go to sleep. That's the only way to not confuse your brain and your ears. And science. Is this like a whole science segment we're just talking about now?
No.
About our bodily responses?
No.
Alright. Speaking of public transportation, like I said, I take the bus a lot. So many, I could sit here and tell you all the stories. Just all the stories.
All the stories.
All of them. But one that stands out to me...
Of all of them?
Is the time and place that I take a particular bus. It's very crowded on certain days. And this is the point where I'm going to point out that I am not an asshole. Therefore, I get up when I see people who need my seat, or I don't bother sitting down if there are several empty seats open, because I know eventually somebody much older than me or with a difficulty will need the seat. So I don't take it. Anyway, on this particular trip, I sat down in the first seat I saw because it was there. And then a lady with a baby and a stroller came on, and basically this older woman started yelling at young people while she was looking directly at me. She started yelling for young people to get up so that the lady with the baby could sit down. And so I was like, well, duh, you didn't give any of us a chance before you started yelling. So what I did, I looked over at the lady next to me, and where I was sitting, it didn't really make much sense for me to get up. So the lady and I shared a look, and she decided that her seat would better be suitable for the lady. So she got up, problem solved. She sat down, everything was fine. But the older lady kept talking about it, looking in my direction, like, why are young people so rude and stupid and rude and all the words that are not like old people who are smart and wise.
How old was this older lady?
I don't know, like 60s, 70s. She was black, and black don't crack, so I don't know. But an older lady, not from my generation, was yelling about my generation. And I looked around me like, is anybody else hearing this? Why is she singling me out when she didn't see what happened? She didn't know what another woman and I shared a look between. You know, we had sorted it out. The lady was sitting down, but she continued to berate my entire generation.
Was the lady that needed the seat pregnant?
No, she already had the baby with her.
How old of a baby are we talking about?
Like 2.
Are you sure it was 2, or was this baby also black? And
The
again,
baby was
black
also
don't
black
crack?
because black people ride the bus.
I'm just saying, like, if you don't know, I wanted to, like, be sure of how old this child was.
They don't matter because she said everything was solved, but the lady just continued to talk in my direction about how my entire generation, meaning millennials, are like this cesspool generation of ungrateful, unhappy, lazy people that aren't even smart enough to let a lady with a baby sit down on the bus.
Are you sure she wasn't attracted to you and therefore angry at you for her attraction?
She could have been.
Suppressed
Maybe she was angry with her entire life, you know? Maybe something happened before she got on the bus where a young person was quite rude to her, so she decided to take it out on every young person she could set her eyes on. I don't know. But for some reason, at that moment, she felt like directing it at me, a 23-year-old in the vicinity, and I just, like...
What part of the bus were you sitting at?
It was near the front.
Mm-hmm.
Because everywhere else, literally everywhere else was taken up and crowded.
Now, did she look old enough to be maybe a part of the march?
What march?
The Rosa Parks one? The boycott.
The Rosa Parks march? You mean the march
boycott.
on Washington?
I meant the boycott. I meant to say boycott, actually.
The boycott.
Yeah.
The Rosa Parks boycott?
Yeah, when they boycotted the buses because it was just...
I guarantee you it had nothing to do with...
Well, just think about it.
that.
Maybe she was a part of that and she saw, hey, I remember how successly that was, and I'm tired of these young kids taking
So
all
she
the
was
seats
trying
in
to be the
front.
next Rosa Parks for her generation?
Actually, exactly that. For her generation,
Instead
as
of it
in her age group.
being against white people, it's against... So she was an ageist?
Very much so. No, she was fighting ageism. You gotta see, look, hold on, bear with me.
She was fighting ageism by being ageist?
Look, she found that young people maybe were so able and fast that they were able to slip in and steal the seats from older people.
What?
And she felt that's what you did.
What?
Exactly. Whoa. Yeah. And so
But I got on the bus before the lady even, before... There was a couple stops before the lady even got on.
Think about that, though.
But had she
That's
not
how
got
able you
on
were.
and somebody else got on and needed the seat, I would have got up then too.
That's how in her mind, she's
She didn't
thinking
even
that's
know
how
me.
able you were. That's how fast you were. You were able to walk ahead a few bus stops and then steal the spot from her. But her being so old, she couldn't do that.
So she was jealous of my fast walking to the bus stop?
And fast walking, endurance.
Well, I guess that's what they say. The people who are jealous of you just want to see you fail, and they pick on you.
Well, she thinks you were doing that to her.
She was being a hater.
And the
her
lady
entire
with the baby.
generation?
Yep. Well, all generations previous to yours. Yeah.
Anyway, I thought it was really unfair, and it just goes along with this whole idea that our generation is, lazy and da-da-da-da-da and all this and that. And then they turn around and tell us stories about how easy shit was back in their time, and they don't seem to understand that it's a different time. And things aren't that easy anymore. And we're doing our best, okay? We will give you a seat, provided it's the right person, okay? I could have been any age. I could have been an actual asshole and still got up. But anyway, it was the fact that she didn't give anyone a chance or know exactly the whole situation before yelling at me the entire ride, and everybody gave me sympathetic looks like, those crazy people, those crazy old people, which is also ageist.
Yeah. Can I ask you another question?
No.
Alright then. Moving on.
Can you imagine if that's how every, like, you ask somebody something and they just say no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I can imagine that. What's your question?
So you do want to hear the question?
Yes, I do.
Well, how old is old enough?
Oh, God. I don't want to hear your question anymore. Moving on.
Moving on. I think it's a valid question, but you know.
I'm going to drink some water really quick.
Okay, when you do that.
Let me know if I'm talking softly next to the microphone right now. But let me know if it does anything for you. As well as this crinkling sound.
Okay, thank you for that moment of ecstasy. And moving on. You actually finished that book that you read previously, right? But not otherwise specified?
Yes, I did. The one I talked about last week. I finished it at like 3 or 4 in the morning, like last Sunday or last Saturday, and I really enjoyed it. It was good. It had a good ending, which I like in books, although I guess I shouldn't say that, because I've read some really good books that had endings that I wasn't fond of, but it didn't bring down the whole book, as well as vice versa, which I hate. But anyway.
A bad book that had a good ending?
Okay, maybe not vice versa, but like a good book with a bad ending that's just bad and ruins the whole book. I hate that. And I read a lot like that. But this was not one of those. It was a good book. I liked the ending. It was hopeful. It left room for, if I imagined it, I could write another book or finish the story if I wanted to. Yeah, everything wrapped up nicely. I mean, I guess I could give a full review, like go into detail, but honestly, it's been a week and I have terrible memory.
It's been a week since you started reading it, or
it's been a week since I finished reading it.
Did you finish the same day?
No, it was the next day I finished it. Or I guess I could say it was a couple days I finished it, since I finished it at like 3 in the morning, but...
I mean, no.
But that's a testament to how good it was. I didn't want to put it down, even though I was tired. But, you know, there was some conflict. The conflict resolved itself, and then it was a happy ending. Yeah, good book. Check it out. Did you read any more of your soccer book?
Yeah.
Are you waiting till next Thanksgiving to read a little more?
It's not finished, and to be honest, I don't think you like when I talk about soccer at all, so...
What gave you that idea, Alex? What are you talking about?
How about when you
I
called
don't know what you're talking
the sport
about.
gay like 10 times last time?
When? When was this?
And
No.
you like physically assaulted me?
No.
When I talked about it, that I was asked for aid? No. Okay.
The police could be listening, alright? Speaking of police, I actually do have a confession, but is there anything you want to talk about that way before I get hauled off to jail?
No, I kind of want to see that happen.
Right in the middle of the podcast?
That'd be interesting. It'd make the podcast way more interesting.
Yeah, we would probably get more of an audience if I got
narrate it.
hauled off to jail right now. Way funnier than a phone call, I guess. A phone call from mom.
I mean, maybe. But go ahead, why don't you tell
Either
us?
way, I'll get my one phone call. Get it?
Yeah, no.
Get it, Alex?
I got it. It was quite...
Jail.
Quite... I made sure that you knew I got it, and yet you still had to make sure.
Well, for the audience's sake. In
Okay.
case they didn't get where I was going with that. Yeah. So, I guess my confession is not really a confession. I mean, I'm not confessing, but it's just...
It happened to a friend of yours?
Yeah. No. I don't have friends.
Oh, okay.
Except for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, I'm kind of a low-key klepto. Low-key being one of those millennial words, so, look it up. Google it.
Also not true, because I had 2 pens at the start of this podcast, and now I have 1.
completely unrelated. I have no idea what happened to your pens because they're crappy pens, and I don't want your pens.
Kleptos don't steal because they want the thing that they're stealing.
But see, that's why I said I'm a low-key klepto, because I only steal things I want.
I'm not sure if that's a klepto. That's just a regular old thief.
That's what it is.
That's just a regular
But when you
thief.
say klepto, it makes it sound like it's
Spicy.
a mental problem. So, never mind. Just don't cut that out. Edit that out.
You're just a low-key thief.
No, I'm a low-key klepto.
You want me to edit it out, but then you continue repeating it. You're giving me mixed messages.
Alright. Well, okay. Let me explain.
Why you're a low-key thief.
I'm not a thief.
You have mental
What I do
issues.
is I take things that people would not care are missing, and I give them a better home.
Like pets?
Not live things. God. You're making it sound like I'm a thief.
You're calling
And a
yourself a
maniac.
klepto.
Shh. Okay.
Well, let's define klepto for those of us who don't know what it means.
I'm pretty sure everyone knows what
Well,
a klepto
just in
is.
case.
Although, I wasn't exactly sure how to spell it. Is it with a C or a K?
It's with a K, but...
Well, see, that's further proof that I am not one because I don't know how to spell it.
I actually just made that up. I don't know how to spell it, but you go ahead and
Explain myself
explain
to
what
the cops.
klepto means. Explain what klepto means and how you spell
You
spice
look
pen.
that up, and I'm going to talk about how I'm not a klepto. I give small items a new home, okay? I frequent a lot of places that may have small, insignificant things that
That's smart.
I want to collect and give
People's
a new
homes.
home to. Yes, okay, people's homes, but in my defense, which I don't need because there will be no court and jury and judging, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I go to houses for people who are already going to give the stuff away.
So you're stealing from yard sales?
And other home type sales.
Like
or
nursing
or
homes?
other places that I find stuff.
Are you stealing from like nursing homes?
I've never been to a nursing home. Maybe once. That's a different story. Maybe I should have talked about that with the age issue. Anyway. Yeah, so I have a little collection of just stuff that I also just take stuff that I find out in like the street or whatever, like nuts and bolts and things I think look cool.
Are you planning on building a house or something?
I'm not gonna build a house with it, but I'm like one of those birds. There's a bird that actually collects stuff, mainly like a certain color of stuff, and it just collects it because it wants to make the home look nice for its mate. So maybe it is a mental issue.
So what?
Like a deep-seated. I feel like if I collect enough pretty shiny stuff, maybe somebody will want to date me one day and stick around for once.
Are you
To
stealing?
repeat my last offer, I am single. Hit me up.
Are you stealing like people? Are you planning on like stealing like potential dates?
I don't know. I don't believe in stealing other people. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. I don't like that shit. I collect the stuff for me because I feel like the people who have forgotten about them would not even care if I decided to love them again, okay?
Are you stealing like family heirlooms?
Not family heirlooms. God. Let me see. I'm not gonna go through the whole list of stuff that I've collected, but
What's your favorite thing that you've stolen? And I like that you used the word collected also.
because I am collecting it. I have like a whole shelf of just stuff. I have stuff in my pockets right now. Like
my
if you
pen.
go through any of my pockets of any of my clothes, you'll find stuff I've collected.
Pen.
I didn't take your pen, okay?
Alright.
That was the one thing I did not take.
Says the thief.
Anyway, I'm not a thief, I'm not a stealer. I just low-key want to collect things for my own personal
So your favorite
benefit.
thing that you took?
I haven't added to it recently, although I have got stuff in my pockets that I'm going to use for something, but it's between this little cat that I found.
A cat?
Yeah, it's a little like plastic, like rubbery sort of cat.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got blue eyes. It's really cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you are stealing pets?
It's between that, or it's not a real cat. It's a little toy, like fake
Wink, wink.
figurine cat.
Mm-hmm.
You know? It's between that and I found this, like, glass dolphin. It's got, like, gold accents on it. Both tiny, they could fit in your hand, and nobody cared about them enough to...
Can I be honest with you?
I'm not a thief, okay?
Can I be honest with you now? The things that you have said...
Sorry for blowing your ears out, everyone.
Things that you have said have made me, like, I feel like you built a really big case for you just building towards stealing somebody's pet, because here's what you've said. Wait, hold on. Please wait. You said, I have things in my pocket that I'm going to use later. You
Which,
said you...
I'm also a low-key hoarder.
Yeah, hold on.
My room is a mess.
Just hold on a second.
I'm holding on.
You are barely. You called yourself the low-key klepto, and you said, you know, I'm trying to just take things that people don't care enough about and give them a better home, okay? And the two things that you said are your favorite things that you've taken was a cat and a dolphin, right? Now, yes, they're small.
I also
little toys,
took a snow globe with a bear in it. Are you going to loop that into it?
Well, now that you've said the bear part, I think you are building yourself up towards stealing a pet that you think is being, quote-unquote, not cared for and given a better home to yourself.
I'm pretty sure everyone listening has had that feeling where they've seen a pet in dire need of a new owner. But, like I said, I am not a fan of taking other living mistreated things, okay?
Not
as much as I want to.
Yet. And
no, yet. I never will do that, okay?
I want, not as much as I want to. Motive now. Just saying.
Stop adding in police terms, alright? You're making this worse for me. They really are gonna come in here and take me away. They're gonna haul me away.
I didn't know you were gonna build a case against yourself.
They're gonna have to finish this podcast by yourself, okay? You really need to do that. It'll be your fault. They're gonna put you on the stand.
And
they're gonna have
testify.
they're gonna have evidence items A through Z and then some.
I hope they check your pockets. Don't find my pen there. And
I don't have your pen, okay? I do not have it. I have several pens that I have built up over the years of going to school. That's another thing. I knew I was like this from a young age, actually.
that's unfortunate.
That's gross. Alright. If I was going to explain my kleptoness from a young age.
I don't want to show that you have a pattern or a history of
yeah,
stealing
maybe
stuff.
Maybe not. But if anyone wants to know,
like the police.
I have a Tumblr where I talk about it.
Oh, okay.
So just let me know if you want to.
Just post it. Just let
if you want to read it. Alright, moving on to non-incriminating things.
I will literally have no co-host by next week. Is what you're saying. It's just going to be me.
What?
You are going to get yourself arrested. You have
I'm not.
directed everything.
Well, you weren't helping, okay?
I was joking.
So if I'm not on the podcast next week, guys, it's Alex's fault, okay? Blame him. You know, everybody come to my defense.
And you were the one who came up with the whole pet peeves thing, too? You're the one who came up with that as a topic. I'm just realizing...
I didn't come up with pet peeves.
Pet, connections.
Just stop saying pet connections, okay? It reminds me of something on Craigslist.
Oh my goodness.
Which I was on last night, by the way. Oh my goodness, what?
I see the connections. I see all of them.
No, you don't. There's no connections here.
Hold on.
No, I'm not holding on anymore.
Pet peeves. Lady on public transportation that was yelling at you, talking about a millennial problem. You know?
Yes, we're all lazy kleptos.
Yeah. I think you're gonna steal this lady's pet. And it's so that she realizes that millennials can and will act. And that maybe this generation isn't the problem. Maybe it was last generation's, and that's why she is your peeve.
Hey,
and
I'm
you're
not
stealing her
saying.
pets.
I mean, if you look at it this way, if millennials are a certain way, we didn't raise ourselves.
Possibly.
Just saying.
The dog or cat or anything has
Police, I'm not stealing anyone's anything.
a sound that
Nothing at all.
tingles your brain and ear.
Nothing at all. Listen to the soothing sound of my
And that's why you think it's only good
non-criminal
music.
voice. And you will see in your heart that I'm just a good person.
But the dog is a gluten-free dog. He doesn't eat gluten stuff. And has or
firmly
cat.
believe that
And they have nice
Alex
knees.
next to me may be on drugs, though.
They have nice knees.
Just saying. I'm gonna
It's good.
check him out in the system.
You have anything else to talk about?
What, I have a question.
Yeah.
What's your favorite fruit?
Ooh, my favorite fruit is probably mango
Oh, God.
or banana.
We might as well just end it now.
I think.
End the podcast now, not his life. I don't condone that.
This is the
But
old
why-
lady on the bus.
What, huh?
This is that old lady on the bus.
Oh, God. If she's listening, please explain to me why you decided to single me out that morning. Okay? Just that lady. I just want to hear from her, and we can sort it out like adults.
What's your favorite fruit?
Shit. I have a lot of favorite fruits, sis. I like grapes.
Grapes are okay, as long as they don't have seeds.
Yeah. I like kiwi. That's a good fruit. Okay, you made
That's a fruit?
You made it. That's a fruit. You made a sound there, like I just killed your dog. What's your problem with kiwi?
That is
Are you
actually-
saying that there are some bad fruits?
Yes.
Like
and
bad music?
Kiwi, because not only is it not taste as good as pineapples, but
I
it
never
also
said it tasted better than any other fruit. I
No,
just said
here's the
it
thing.
tastes good.
but it numbs my tongue.
It knows all
Numbs
kiwis
my
know your tongue.
numbs my tongue.
Numbs your tongue.
And my lips, and see.
Well, that just means you're
Pineapples.
allergic to them. I didn't say,
Pineapples. I don't think
"Hey,
I'm allergic.
Alex, what fruit are you allergic to?" Because then I would have said raspberries for me. And
Well, then I guess you're not a big fan of raspberries, are you?
I am not.
Well, see, that's why I can go. And also, I don't think I'm allergic to kiwi.
I think it sounds like you are.
No, not an allergy.
Numbing of lips and tongues sounds like an allergic reaction, Alex. You should get that checked
I've
out.
had an allergic
You
reaction.
should go to the doctor.
Surprisingly, to a box of Frosted Flakes, and it made me break out in hives, like serious hives.
That sucks. I've had hives before.
It was the worst.
I usually get hives before I travel.
Every time.
Different story.
Sounds like
Yeah.
stress.
Well, I do suffer from anxiety and panic attacks, but again, another podcast.
Well, I continued to eat that box of Frosted Flakes. Though.
Okay, so now it sounds like a personal, self-inflicting problem.
Well, I mean, it was in high school, and I woke up too late to eat anything else for breakfast. So I was
Did you
like,
know me at this point?
Yeah, I broke out, and you didn't care if I broke out in hives or not, though.
Well, you probably didn't tell me.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like it was pretty obvious when your hands are
Maybe
like.
it wasn't obvious.
Oh,
Maybe you didn't want to share that
I
day.
looked like the thing.
Maybe I didn't even see you that day.
I looked like the thing.
You looked like the thing.
Like I had that
The
many.
thing from the original Fantastic Four, or the thing from the horrible Fantastic Four,
I didn't see.
which I don't need to explain because we all know what that is.
I didn't see. Well, how do you know there's bad movies? Just like, well, you know.
There are such thing as bad movies. Moving on.
And there's bad music.
Moving on.
Alright. But like the original Fantastic Four.
Okay.
Because I didn't watch the second one.
You looked orange, and because then I feel like I would have noticed and remembered that.
I didn't look orange, but I had everything else.
Everything else?
Everything else. Like,
You had
my hand
everything
was
else
bigger,
the thing had.
bigger, and way more like cracked and bubbly and.
That sounds, again, like something you should get checked out.
Well, you know, it would eventually go away, and then I'd get it back because I went back and ate another bowl of cereal. Also, Frosted Flakes is one of my favorite cereals.
It is one of my favorite cereals too, as well as Cheerios. That should be next week's
Honey Nut Cheerios or just regular Cheerios?
Honey Nut. Oh god,
Okay.
Honey Nut. There's no such thing as regular Cheerios, okay?
There is, and they are the worst.
There should not be.
There shouldn't.
Alright? They just now started making gluten-free Cheerios.
It doesn't sound fun.
I think I'll have to try them.
You know what the worst kind is, actually? I think the berry. It's either berry or cinnamon. They have like a cinnamon
That sounds
Cheerios.
disgusting.
It's the
They
worst.
should just keep Honey Nut Cheerios. Maybe the frosted ones.
I've never had that.
They're alright. But they should just keep it Honey Nut and keep it going. Just kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
I think that's something else.
What do you mean it's something else?
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, kiss.
That's not- Kiss or kicks?
Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
Oh, I thought you were saying kicks, and I was like, I don't think that's what they're saying. That's a slogan.
Keep it copacetic, klepto slut. Now that sounds like a personal attack. Is something you want to say,
I just
Alex?
want to, like,
Is there something you want to say?
I care for you,
Don't
and
pity
don't
pat me.
hurt. Don't
you pat me on the
hurt.
back?
Don't be so down on yourself.
They're gonna haul me away because of you.
Don't be so hard on yourself. We all have our faults, and some of us just like to steal pets.
I'm not gonna respond to that. I'm gonna drink some more water.
Alright. I think that we should end here. What was the
Well,
question?
I thought you wanted to recommend some stuff.
Oh yeah, I forgot about recommendations. Let's do recommendations real quick. Why don't you tell us your recommendation? Why don't you tell us your recommendation?
Oh, okay. Well, going back to stuff I watch on YouTube, which I talked about last week too, because it's basically my TV. I watch a channel called Rooster Teeth, and all of its affiliate channels, like Let's Play. But, yeah, if you like gaming or just like to be entertained in general, you should check out Rooster Teeth. They actually are the company that has made the longest running web series based on a game ever, Red vs. Blue, which I have not watched yet, but I watched their other animated show, Ruby, which was created by one of their creators. That sounded weird. Monty and he passed away last year. I'm looking at Alex like he's supposed to know what I'm talking about, which I don't know why. But yeah, he passed away, which is sad. But you know, they continued the series, and it's really good. You should check that out too. But they've recently also made an entire feature-length film, which I went to go see, and it was freaking amazing.
Was that Hardcore Henry?
It was not Hardcore Henry. It was Laser Team. It was awesome. I'm waiting for them to put it out on DVD. I hope they do, because it was really funny, and I enjoyed myself. So, yeah, they have a really funny podcast. If we're recommending podcasts, they have their podcast, which is the same name, pretty much. And,
Is it Rooster Teeth or Rooster Tooth?
it's Rooster Teeth. Yeah. You can spell it as 2 words or 1 word. It'll come up. Yeah, that's what I'm recommending.
What video game do they play that you would like to watch?
They play a lot of video games that I find freaking hilarious. It's not exactly the whole company that plays video games. It's the separate section of the company called Achievement Hunter.
So you like that section?
Yeah, I tend to watch their videos more because they do a lot of gameplay, which I know is really popular on the internet right now.
You're in favor of that section?
Yeah, because I play video games, and I wish I had the attention span to keep playing video games, but for now I just have a dusty PS3, If anyone wants to buy it, let me know. But yeah, so I watch other people play games because I can't. But specifically Minecraft. They do a lot of funny stuff. Yeah, so what are you recommending?
I'd like to recommend Planet Money. It's a podcast.
Planet Money. Now, is that 2 words or 1?
2 words.
Planet Money.
Yeah, it's an NPR podcast, actually.
NPR. Okay.
Yeah, so you know it's good because they
that's legit.
Yeah, it's
lit.
It's already it already has a large enough audience, but I like it.
Well, so does mine. What are you trying to say?
I don't know your podcast / YouTube channel.
You're making it seem like mine is like lesser.
They have sections.
That's
which shows
just
that
sections in the company. You just said that yours was a section of NPR.
So I wasn't trying to
What
bring
does that have
this
to do
out.
with anything? You're making it sound like mine's worse.
Well, I apologize for but accidentally making yours sound worse.
God.
But,
Continue.
Okay. They're an econ podcast, which I know you got thinking, what, Alex? Economics? We're not interested. But it's a storytelling.
Yeah, just soccer and economics. And
it's a storytelling podcast, really. It's more storytelling, but it's storytelling with economics.
So fun.
It's like...
See how I'm doing that?
It's like as if...
I'm making it seem like yours sucks.
Okay.
Now you know how I felt.
Alright. If you like stories and if you like stories, actually, you should just listen to it.
And also, if you're into economy,
I mean,
like
if you're
economics,
like really into economics, maybe you won't like it as much because it has economics in it and it's about economics, but it's not like here's numbers and numbers and numbers. They're not throwing like that many numbers at you.
So it's like economics for dummies.
Yeah.
Alright.
But it's enjoyable.
Okay, sounds pretty enjoyable. Like, I never took an economics class, but I enjoyed that. Shut up. I enjoyed, learning about that kind of stuff because we didn't learn it enough in school. So now
we
I have
no
terrible
economics.
credit.
Oof.
Another oof, yeah. Yeah, oof
that one
is
was
right.
a painful one.
Do you hear me, millennials? Raise your hand if you have bad credit. Is everybody raising their hand? I hope so.
This reminds me of like that moment in Kanye West's Gold Digger song.
Are we back to Kanye?
Just for a second, real quick second, where he was
so tired of talking about Kanye.
Where he's like, holler if you want prenup, you want prenup, yeah. He was like, holler if you want good credit.
What was that line again? What was that line again?
You want a prenup?
Alex, would you like a beat?
I can do the whole verse to beat, but I don't want. That's not what we're doing here at Capital Conversation.
You heard it here first. Next podcast, Alex is gonna rap for us. The entire Yeezus album, which he loved a lot.
I pulled back.
That was his favorite album.
I was ready to add in. I'll rap for you guys, but when she said Yeezus, I had to pull back and say no.
It's his most favorite album ever.
Well, we're gonna end on that lie.
What's we gotta ask a question?
Oh, a question. Yes. Last week we asked, what's the line between passive aggressiveness and aggressiveness? And no one but one person got back to us, but
did they, Alex?
But
are you sure about that?
We're not going to read that because we don't want to incriminate that person.
Why stop? Why stop at me? We've already done that to me this whole time.
It's fine. The new question is, actually, I don't remember.
Look, here come the police. They're knocking on the door, Alex.
Okay, the new question is,
I'm not here.
How much do you have to steal?
You guys didn't see me. I'm not here.
Okay.
Please help me.
Alright. That was strange. The new question is, how much do you have to steal to be considered a kleptomaniac? I'll let you guys think about that. Let you judge our hosts and co-hosts and other co-hosts. And actually, there's 5 of us here, but 3 of us are quiet. Just want that to be known. Like the Power Rangers. This was Capcon. Capital Conversations with Capcon. Thank you for listening.
I could be learning. You could